Coffee has its roots in Ethiopia, where a shepherd accidentally noticed that his goats became more active after they had consumed ripe red coffee berries. It is believed that the vast cultivation of coffee plants, the well-known Arabica, began in the 12th century. The earliest credible evidence of either coffee drinking or knowledge of the coffee tree appears in the middle of the 15th century in the Sufi monasteries of the Yemen in southern Arabia. Settled agriculture began in Ethiopia some 2,000 years ago. Legend has it that since then coffee Arabica has been growing in the wild forests of the southwestern massive highlands of the Kaffa and Bruno districts of the country. From Mocha, coffee spread to Egypt and North Africa, and by the 16th century it had reached the rest of the Middle East. Nationally, Ethiopia produces approximately 200,000 tons a year. Almost half is for domestic consumption, which is the highest in Africa. Coffee in Ethiopia is generally harvested in November. The harvesting lasts over a month, depending on the weather climatic changes. Seasonal pickers, many of them women, get up early in the morning to collect the fresh beans in the shaded plantations at an altitude of 1,500 meters. In Ethiopia, coffee grows at various altitudes, ranging from 550 to 2,750 meters above sea level. The bulk of coffee Arabica is produced in the eastern, southern and western parts of the country, which have altitudes ranging from 1,300 to 1,800 meters. At this altitude, the Ethiopian climate is ideal and the plants are well protected by the larger forest trees, which provide shade from the midday sun and preserve the moisture in the soil. The plant is very resistant, disease-resistant, high-yielding and of top quality. A lot of coffee in Ethiopia grows in the wild. In recent years, replantation politics have been introduced to manage sustainable crops. The majority of it is still entirely biological. Tiru, Ethiopia, Ethico's daughter in Ethiopia with head offices in Addis Ababa, mainly harvests in the regions of Sidamo, Yirga Shefa, Limu and Jima in the south of Ethiopia. Ripe red berries are mostly washed in wet mills during the evening hours, depulped and then stowed in fermentation basins. After 24 hours, the freshly washed beans are spread out on large trestle tables, sun-dried, and even at this early stage, already then subjected to a first quality control. Commercially, the wet method is preferred. The small producers who pick the cherries may save time by sun-drying the beans and then selling them to customers in the local market. After they've been washed, the beans are stirred in nets over and over again and then covered with yellow plastic sails until optimum dryness is achieved. It takes approximately 7 days to get the beans ready to be transported to the warehouse for deparchment. One of the regions in which Tiru, Ethiopia operates directly for Ethico is Sidamo, where the company has its own washing station. On the collar farm, the harvest is always an enchanting spectacle. The sorting starts at 7 o'clock in the morning and can last up to 10 hours in the night, depending on new incoming harvests. Sidamo coffee is appreciated for its rounded, balanced cup with low acidity and a low perfumed taste. Tiru, Ethiopia also operates for Ethico in Yirga Shefa, which produces Yirga Shefa coffee. Yirga Shefa has refined acidity, a balanced body and a perfumed taste. Another well-known coffee region is Jima. Jima is the largest city in southwestern Ethiopia. Globally, the annual production in the Jima district alone amounts up to approximately 30,000 tons a year. Jima coffee has a wildish, fruity taste. Generally speaking, there are 4 types of production system in Ethiopia. forest coffee, semi-forest coffee, garden coffee, and plantation coffee. 95% of the coffee produced under these systems is organic. Forest coffee is found in south and southwestern Ethiopia. These are the centres of origin for coffee Arabica. Forest coffee is self-sown and grown under the full coverage of natural forest trees and has a wide diversity for selection and breeding when selected and bred for disease resistance. Forest coffee accounts for about 10% of Ethiopia's total coffee production. Semi-forest coffee is found in the south and southwestern parts of the country. Farmers acquire forest land for coffee farms and then thin and select the forest trees to ensure both adequate sunlight and proper shade for the coffee trees. They slash the weeds once a year to facilitate the coffee bean harvesting. Semi-forest coffee accounts for about 35% of Ethiopia's total coffee production. Garden coffee is grown in the vicinity of farmers' residences, mainly in the southern and eastern parts of the country. The coffee is planted in low densities, ranging from 1,000 to 1,800 trees per hectare, is mostly fertilized with organic waste, and is intercropped with other plants. Currently, garden coffee accounts for about 35% of Ethiopia's coffee. Coffee is, above all, a people's business. Coffee farming in Ethiopia provides employment in rural areas and is the means of livelihood for over 15 million people. Even after more than 500 years, the Ethiopian economy is dependent on coffee Arabica, as it contributes more than 60% of the country's foreign exchange earnings, and therefore often referred to as the country's gold mine. Don't lose any bean, goes an old Ethiopian saying. It's the nugget of your treasury. Any Ethiopian in the coffee fields will therefore bend and pick up a lost bean, cherish it, and take it home.